Hello and welcome. This is my 2025 book journal setup. I'm so excited. So this is a Hobonichi Weeks. This will be my second year with a book journal. I started my first book journal last year, also in a Hobonichi Weeks. This is, I think, Hiroko Kubota, Aurora Duty? No, it's not called Aurora Duty. But anyway, the artist is definitely Hiroko Kubota. I thought this one was so cute. Unfortunately, I did scrape off like most of the stars. I didn't realize you probably should have a cover on these. But for this one this year, I probably won't put a cover on it just because, I don't know, I do like how tactile they feel. But yes, if you definitely do regret that, unfortunately the stars are a little rough. But anyway, I'll get right to it, just because I feel like this one's good to have on hand, just so you could see like what's changed from last year, what's updated. But I'll start flipping through. So I think this spread I want to get like a ton of cats with book stickers. I already like started collecting them, and I have some more on the way, so I'm not gonna put them down yet. But yeah, once I had this idea, it was like, it felt like everywhere I looked there were just cats with books, stickers just everywhere. So I think I'm gonna collage this one a little bit later, till I have some more coming in. This one isn't a drawing that I did, but as I mentioned in like my previous video, definitely inspired by Lydia Nichols. I just love the way that she draws cats. And then this one, Lonesome New More, is from this year's Travelers Company like sticker set that they do every year. So I think that one's super cute. I'm flipping over. Here I actually marked where I finished books last year, so I'll probably continue it for November and December. I just think that'll be really interesting to do like a tiny dot whenever I finish a book this year, so we'll see how that goes. I also have like a key here that I'll be using throughout the book. Total books, total pages, and then some other stats. And then these colors relate to genres that I think I want to do, maybe some pie charts or like monthly summaries, but we'll see how that goes. This one will be a graph, like pretty similar to last year. Let's see. So you can see, I don't know why I made the scale so compressed. So definitely for this year, it's going to be a lot longer. So for instance, this is 3,000 pages, and then 3,000 pages was over here. So it's going to be much more spread out next year. So I'm really excited about that. So it won't be super tight. And then, yeah, I don't really like the way this top is looking. So I think I'll add, I don't know, my solution for some reason was just more numbers. So I'm going to add a couple more stats and lines over here. Again, just like using that previous graph for total books and then library books purchased, physical and digital. Usually, spoiler alert, it's almost all library books that are physical. So I'm really excited to see how that'll change, but maybe it might just be like 1 or 2 data points a year. And then this one is a spread that's gonna stay the same. This will just be like a little washi tape bookshelf. I thought this ended up really nice. I do have to update it. But this was a lot of fun, especially since I have, you know, a not insignificant amount of individual washi tapes. So it's almost, there's very few repeats, which is something, I don't know. But I'll definitely be buying more washi in the future. And yeah, it's really fun to use all of them and just to see like the fun collage that it makes. So that'll be this spread. And yeah, some ideas for how I might update the weekly spread from last year. So I don't think I'm going to do the genres on the side like this. And it got really tiresome to use the washi tape. Just like cutting it was like kind of grating as the months go on. So I think I'm just going to color in with fountain pen ink a book, and then maybe do like a line or something to like connect to the book, because it also got like a little bit confusing to see like exactly where this one ended. So yeah, so we'll see how that works out. Let's see. Other pages. I don't think I'm going to do as intense of swatch pages next year. I think I'll probably just do fountain pen ink and not all of my other media, just because I don't really need to reference them. Like I don't think I even used Posca in this book. But yeah, something that I definitely am keeping though are the stickers. This was like a lot of fun. So obviously last year I had these genre stickers, but I think this year I'm not going to do those. I'm going to instead do something a little bit different. And then these I also printed on clear sticker paper just because I felt like the white was like a little bit grating. So I'm excited to see how the clear sticker paper works, especially with this like off-white of the weeks itself. So these ones are times I go to the library, book club, and then the black hats are times I read outside the house, and then physical books versus digital books. I think there's like 60 of each of these in here right now, so I definitely have enough for like the first half of the year. That was like something else I felt like I just had to keep printing stickers last year, so I definitely want to just front load myself as much as possible, not have to pull out my printer every month even. So yeah, only do watercolor and then ink. And then this spread I split up from last year. It was just one spread, but I'll probably color in like each box for each milestone reached. I think that was super fun. And then maybe for this year I'll put like the name of the book and the date, just because it might be nice to see like total. And spending goal. And then I didn't really have a TBR, like a want to read last year, so I added that this year. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then we can get into the daily pages. I really like I experimented with like a lot of different layouts last year. We'll see some of those. Like I had these huge stickers, but it honestly got like to be a little bit too much. And then like a lot of lettering that again was just a little bit too much. So you'll see eventually at the end, much more stripped down in the beginning. I have like what type of book it was, if it was a physical book, a digital book, if it went to the library, and then on the right, just some thoughts. And then each like ink color corresponds to the title. So that's nice to carry through. And then one of my favorite parts would be the book reviews and like the ending pages. So I definitely spruced these up a little bit from last year. I was like really nervous about running out of pages last year, but I'm going to have way more. So I felt like this could at least have its own spread for sure. Also last year I tried to like have the covers match the proportions of the book, but that just got way too confusing. So this year for sure I'm just going to keep them all in this. I think Maddie on TikTok did like the math, and I'm pretty sure I copied her proportions for that. So yeah, so that's super convenient. I was thinking that I might have each of those inks like correspond to the cover, but I thought of that after I drew out the first spread, so we'll see after these 8 books if I decide to do that. But yeah, I'm really into the blue, so maybe I might just have this be like a blue journal instead of using black ink at all, which would be really cool. Yeah, so goes with that. The monthly recaps I think are gonna look a little bit different. Last year I just had this like frame stamp, like book of the month, and then some stats that are super fun. I was experimenting a little bit in the back here. I think this might be the new monthly recap going forward. So a lot of the same information, but just added where I found the book, and then these 2 like progress towards my goals. Well, I guess spending goals may be a little bit of a misnomer, but spending budget is probably what I should have called it. But now it's kind of funny that it's a goal to spend $100 on books. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then I have themed lists. These were so much fun last year that I added some more, I tweaked some, so I'm really excited to see how these go. So the first one is books with cats. Last year I got this printable from, I think aubryjoi is the artist's name. So I thought it was super cute. I definitely need to color in a lot more, but I actually just stopped because I don't carry around my colored pencils with me. So if I don't like have the supply with me, I just don't use it. So this year, this is all pigment ink. I could just watercolor right on top. and I almost always have my watercolors with me, so I'm excited to change that. Books with cats, and then books with dogs. And I had this last year. I also expanded it a lot. So this is going to be like a fantasy book map. I think I've seen a couple of people do this, but I was definitely inspired by Jess from Jashi Curran. So I did copy some of her place names, and she has a map, I think, in her store that's super cute, but just kind of made some that I think are funny, a little bit more specific to me. And I did print this out on clear sticker paper, so it blends in nicely with the grid. And then for like the land, I put, I think, just Midori cream paper behind it, just to give it a little bit of dimension. But last year I did hand draw it, and I just wasn't super happy with the way it turned out, just because I felt like I smudged it a lot and it just wasn't great. Oop. And I also listed like the books underneath, and I just like ended up needing a lot more room. I actually originally printed it in what I thought was going to be like my passport, but then kind of later in the year I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do like a whole book journal. But I do love the way that this turned out. I think it just fits like the size of the notebook perfectly, and then I decided I wanted like a whole book journal, and here you can see like the washi tape bookshelf beginnings. Still think this looks super cute, but yeah, so when it came to this year I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna print it again and figure that out. Book club again, or not again, but yeah, the book club spread. The book club I attend is through Silent Book Club, which is super fun. You don't really read the same book every month. You just kind of get together and then read in silence with like a group of people. There's definitely some chit chat and stuff like that, but it's definitely really my speed. I never really enjoyed book clubs. I'm way too, I guess, selfish or opinionated. So I really enjoy being able to read what I want. And then I forget where I saw this spread, probably again, Jess from Jashi Curran, but I thought this was a super cute idea. So I'd kiss them, like book boyfriends, something like that, characters that you think are kissable. And then I'm not sure how I want this spread to work. I think it'll be either, I might take like 2 books from each month and do like the latest time period versus the like most in the future time period, since I do read a fair amount of sci-fi, I would say. And either like map them like that, or I might honestly just fill it out at the end of the year, just because I figure like that is the best way to gauge. Again, I don't want to get stuck into like that line graph situation I had from last year where it was just way too crammed. So I think maybe having like a full data set at the end of the year might be the way to go, but we'll see. And yeah, fall, these are all like spooky themed books, books that you read during the fall. I don't know, this is like my 3rd year of doing a list like this, and I just really love getting into fall, getting into the season, reading some horror, things like that. And yeah, that's it. These are empty pages. In the back, I'll probably do days I went to the library, which I did last year. I definitely haven't updated it though. But yeah, I think that was super fun. And then bookstores I've been to for addresses, which is also really cute. Yeah, and that's it. That's my 2025 book journal. Really excited. I'll catch you in the next one, and thanks for watching.